All right, welcome to round number 1. We are on the draw here, and our hand is not outstanding. We have an Aether Vial, which is great, have a couple creatures, and then we're pretty land heavy here. I don't know that I can get away with keeping an Aether Vial hand just because it has Aether Vial. The creatures in this hand are also particularly unexciting. Reflector Mage Blind is not necessarily going to do anything. And Mayor kind of needs a little bit more of a board presence to be good. Obviously, we can flip him in this hand pretty easily. We are in the draw, so it can easily pan out, which makes this hand pretty close. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do here. It's just so easy for us to continue to flood out here. I think I'm going to mulligan, but I do think it's close. This hand looks better. It's probably wise for us to keep this here. We don't really mind that we have a bunch of 3-drops considering we have the Noble Hierarch, assuming it doesn't die. If it does die, it'll be nice to have a 2-drop, and on top of that, if our opponent is combo oriented, we will likely want this. So I'm going to keep that on top. All right. Island. So Basic Island always makes me think Storm, at least currently on Magic Online. Basic Island Pass, though, a little less likely. Could be a control deck of some variety, whether it be blue-white or perhaps like one of the blue-red decks that's been floating around. The blue-red Breach deck I played last time, or the blue-red Kiki deck that's also kind of been floating around. Could potentially be one of those, or it could just be Storm and they have like Opt or something else. Yeah, okay. So my guess is still Storm. So against Storm with Meddling Mage, I feel like the first name is likely Gifts. It's less likely. Okay, so Is It Charm suddenly puts us back on thinking that they're one of those Breach decks. Could potentially be the Kiki deck though. I think the Breach variety is slightly more popular. I'm going to get Basic Plains, play Meddling Mage. Horizon Canopy was a good draw. Play Meddling Mage and name through the Breach. It's a little bit awkward because I'd rather be sure that our opponent's on Breach. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? If they're on either, they're going to have Bolt, which is pretty easy for them to kill Meddling Mage. I could potentially name Bolt, and they might have a pretty hard time killing any of my guys for a little while here. Also, Thalia particularly good against Through the Breach. So I guess I just name Bolt. If they're the Kiki version, I think they have like a Burst Lightning in some of the lists. Obviously, they just blew this Is It Charm. They don't usually play like more than 1, maybe 2. They will have Snaps though. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna name Bolt. I was like, name a creature type. That was weird. The Cavern box popped up, or the previous Cavern box popped up instead of immediately the Meddling Mage box. And I was like, I have done something wrong. What are we doing here? All right, so Meddling Mage on Lightning Bolt. See what our opponent has here. Vial's a little late here, not the best. So we're just going to attack and play Thalia. Obviously they can snap, so I guess I play Thalia first. Whoops. Let's try that again. So they don't get the snap chump block, or if they're the Kiki Jiki deck, they don't get to block with Deceiver, Exarch, or Pestermite. I guess it's still the Breach deck, but could easily be the Kiki deck. So whatever it is, our opponent very likely has Blood Moon in their deck. Both of those have some lists, well, most lists with Blood Moon. So it's good that we fetched the Basic Plains. I don't know why I just played that main one. This I definitely want to play main one, obviously, so I guess I got caught up in thinking I wanted to play the rest of my turn in main one, but I might as well have saved that. Make sure we cast this with the uncounterable mana. But it might have like Cryptic. Tap your team. Excellent. No Cryptic. Okay, Cryptic bounced my Thalia, so we're going to get breached. We have exactly 6 permanents. Yep, that's unfortunate. Well, that's certainly an out there. That doesn't mean I think I'm still right to name Lightning Bolt here. It's too easy for my opponent to kill Meddling Mage and Thalia that way, but certainly that opens us up to this outcome. Yeah, I don't know. I think particularly because I have the Thalia to go with the Meddling Mage, I think I'm supposed to still name Bolt. If I name Breach and then also play the Thalia, I have 2 things they have to deal with instead of theoretically just the 1, though. So maybe it's better to have duplicates, but then with the ability for them to bolt, they should really be able to deal with them easier, I think. So I think I would do it the same way again. Fortunately, we're not dead yet, apparently. Okay, so they have snap or whatever. Oh, click, sure. All right. So what do we want in this matchup? Probably don't have a lot. Anafenza doesn't really do anything for me in particular. Maybe I want Tireless Tracker. Reflector Mage is not very good. Zathrid Necromancer. I mean, my opponent's going to have Anger, right? Not any other kind of Wrath, so don't think we really want Zathrid Necromancer. Aethersworn Canonist pretty much only does anything against Snapcaster, so that's not very exciting. Even Tireless Tracker is a little bit weak here, considering it's not like my opponent's a true control deck. They've got a lot of ways to slow down the game, sure, but they can turn the corner pretty quickly with Breach. Fortunately, we're not paying a lot of life with our mana base. This matchup feels pretty tough. I think I will bring in the Trackers. I don't think I'll bring in the Canonists. Static Casters are potentially okay. I mean, they kill... they kill Snaps and Clicks, which are our opponent's only creatures outside of Emrakul, typically. Thalia is good. This Thalia is wonderful. Reflector Mage, pretty bad, so we'll probably go out on those. In on these, perhaps. Not sure the Static Caster is correct. Mayor of Averbrooks may be weak here. Against like a heavy removal strategy. So it's possible. I don't think I'd rather have Aethersworn Canonist though. That seems silly. I mean, turning off Snapcaster is relevant, I guess. Maybe that's worth it since it's still a bear in place of a card that is probably not going to perform very much, though should still get me in for some free damage. I think I would still rather have Mayors. I don't know if I'd rather have the second Static Caster, though. Is there something I'm missing that's pretty weak here? I still think Meddling Mage is good. I mean, I need like Meddling Mage, Freebooter, and Thalias to like help me have a chance of winning this game. Mantis Rider I think is fine. Don't think I want to cut the vials for any reason, obviously. I think I might remain like this. Shaving on Mayors to include some number of these may be correct. I'm not sure. Got another kind of awkward opener here. It also has no way to find a basic, but multiple vials. Multiple vials definitely good against this deck. But I'm really not putting on any pressure, which concerns me. I think I'm going to keep, because I'm really scared of just like straight up losing to Blood Moon, and while this hand doesn't have the ability to get a basic, having multiple vials is just as good or better. I almost played the Ziggurat. That would be not so good. All right. Having Cavern is also nice against the Remand deck. This hand is a little weak, though. I wouldn't fault anyone for mulliganing. I think it is kind of borderline. Alright, so that's not a great creature to lead on, but if my opponent somehow doesn't have anything to do, flipping it will be pretty good in this kind of a game. So I think, I mean, there's not a lot of incentive for me to hold it back here. Next turn, if I draw another 2-drop, I can vial it in and play Thalia off my lands here, so... I mean, I could like hold it, try to vial it, flip it. Looks like it's going to flip anyway. Tick this up, yes. Flip this guy into a 3/3. Another Mayor. It's not bad. So we're going to shock. I guess I lead on this. In case they have some sort of a chump plan, although that would be very strange. Hopefully they like go for an Is It Charm on Thalia and we get to Violent Mayor. Free Wolf. Definitely good in this matchup. We're even quickly getting to the point where we have enough permanents that Emrakul doesn't kill us. In the sense that we'll still be able to attack post Emrakul. Maybe I should have done it in response to the fetch, but pretty sure I vial here. Especially because this will flip. Do I take this up to 3? Probably. Especially with another vial in my hand. I might not if I didn't have another vial in case of Blood Moon, but... Alright. Cracking in for 1,000,000. Turning off the Scalding Tarn. Play an Aether Vial. Alright, more wolves. Opt, sure. It's pretty nice that anger doesn't matter here with 2 Howlpack alphas churning out wolves. Opponent not having like Bolt or Is It Charm for my first Mayor was a pretty big deal, obviously. Since I did not have a lot of humans to go with my Mayor and then Mayors, but when they churn out wolves, you don't need extra cards to amass a huge board state. Yeah. Looks like we'll be running it back. I'm glad. I guess I'm glad we left the Mayors in. I don't think Canonists or another Staticaster, which I already had one of in my hand, would have done the job. So at least, whether it's right or not, at least it was good for us that game. This hand looks pretty good. We have Freebooter plus Thalia. The Mayors look a lot better here when we're, you know, heavy on creatures. We're on the draw here, making it pretty easy for my opponent to kill the Noble Hierarch on time, but it's nice that we have a lot of 2-drops, or rather have some 2-drops to alleviate that issue. So I don't know. I think normally it would be correct to lead on Noble Hierarch, but I feel like my opponent is so likely to kill it that it's just way better to lead on Vile here, and I definitely want to lead off of basic planes, I think, with the potential of Blood Moon. And since our opponent doesn't have Path or Ghost Court or anything like that, we don't have to really worry about like leaving that in our deck. So this turn we'll be able to cast a 2-drop and Vile in our Noble. However, I was going to say we are susceptible to Remand now that we don't have Cavern this time. I think I might just want to go Champion into Noble Hierarch. Could that possibly be correct? What is my next turn going to look like? 2-drop Vile and 2-drop, most likely. I don't really want to cast the Freebooter like into Remand. I'd rather get my opponent's hand a little bit more removal light before I cast the Freebooter as well. So Champion will probably do a good job absorbing that and potentially bait my opponent into remanding this before I play a land. If they're thinking, well, they have a Vile anyway, and I'm not going to get much else out of it. Okay, so they don't do it. So I potentially gave up a more mana efficient turn in the future. Obviously, there's still large incentive for me getting Champion into play sooner. There's the Blood Moon. So now we have a mountain. However, that's much better for us than our opponent actually like killing something. So I'm pretty happy to see that, especially with the Noble. Another Freebooter. So Thalia Freebooter is probably great, but let's start with our Freebooter and decide. It's probably always yield to the Champion ability. Electrolyze Explosives. Man, I wish I could Freebooter. That's pretty bad. So I guess I still take the explosives and then force them to like electrolyze the... Oh no, I can just play Mayor. I was thinking that I guess I was shoehorning myself into playing Thalia, but I can play Mayor here. Take the explosives, play Mayor. They can't electrolyze the Freebooter to death. Yeah. Seems good. At first I was thinking, oh, I'm fine with it, whatever. So they're going to get to electrolyze my Freebooter and get the explosives back, and then I'll re-Freebooter. But it's probably just better to put the shields up a little more, make it harder for my opponent to kill my Freebooter. And then next turn, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Because there's really no reason to do it that way. Not like we're holding up anything, but our opponent doesn't necessarily know that. Get in there for 6. Start with an opt. All right. Oh no. They drew lightning bolt. That is disastrous. Yeah, that was an incredible draw. We are in trouble now. Just leave this on 2. Actually, are they... Can I possibly put lethal on the table? Am I just being a goof? Let's see here. Ticking this up doesn't help me do that, but Freebooter Mayor is +3. No, so then I have to use my Noble Hierarch. I can't attack with it. No, Freebooter Mayor is +4. Mayor is +3 on its own. Freebooter is just +1, so 5, 6, 10. So I can put my opponent to 3. Anyway, I do not think I tick this up. Cigarette is a mountain. Oh, I guess that doesn't make any sense. I can cast all of my things. No, I can't. I can't, sorry. What am I saying? So I just Mayor Freebooter. There's nothing I could, like, this, I guess this insulates me. No, it doesn't really insulate me because I know their whole hand. I mean, it insulates me from breach in a sense, but I might as well get more damage in this turn than play this, I think. They're only going to draw 1 card, and 2 of their mana is stuck popping this explosives. Yep, okay. So, free boot. No, I should draw step this instead of getting 1 more damage. No, because I don't want them to electrolyze. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, I could do that if I was playing Thalia this turn, I guess. That way they couldn't electrolyze and pop the explosives. But we're just gonna do it all. Just gonna do it all now. Get maximum number of damage. Put opponent on no cards. Yep, there's your hand. Take electrolyze. Just have lighthouse steam vents. Play a mountain. Play this guy. Attack you. Put you to 3. You know, I guess what I should have done is played Thalia. I should have played Thalia. It insulates me from anger. So if I get land angered now, I get all of my stuff killed except champion, and they get to pop this and kill champion, and then I have nothing. Then they have electrolyzed to my Thalia, which is not great for me. It's possible I still close that game out if they rip anger there, but that is a way that they win that game. And if I had played Thalia this turn instead of Mayor, I would have got in for slightly less damage, but would not be nearly as exposed. So I'm supposed to go Freebooter Thalia, and then I attack with this. So honestly, what? It's 1 less damage because I get to attack with this. So yeah, definitely think I should have played Thalia there. Either way, that looks like that's the end of round number 1, and I will see you in just a moment.